So that's 2 in Illinois.
Oh, okay.
No,
because you're a landowner.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I shot one in. I'm a landowner.
You're a landowner.
I
own land.
I always think of that Family Guy clip where Stewie's like, it's good to own land. Yeah. HUNTR Podcast is brought to you by Deer Grow.
Man, hard to believe, but Deer Grow has been the sponsor that's been there since the beginning of the HUNTR Podcast. Back in 2021, I think that they were the only partner that we had, but it's such a cornerstone brand and set of products for our food plot strategy throughout the year.
No doubt. And it seems like we used to have an off season, but not so much anymore. It's like when the hunting season ends, it really rolls right into food plot season, habitat projects, all of the above. And the Plot Start and Plot Boost have been there since the very beginning. That's a cornerstone for all of our plots. The Plot Start goes on at the beginning, Plot Boost goes on midway through. And since they came out with all of the fertilizers, that gets mixed in with the Plot Boost application as well. And I can't believe the results that we've been getting out of that.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Like I said, it's all the work now that really produces the results in the fall. So right now, anyone listening to HUNTR Podcast can use code HUNTR, HUNTR, for 15% off any of the products at deergrow.com.
Better food plots, bigger deer.
And we're back.
Ew.
HUNTR Podcast, episode 289.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. How about that?
Yeah, dude. It's gonna be epic. Every year I start looking forward to the feast.
I feel pretty good. I mean, we've been rolling double pod since Labor Day?
October 1st, I think.
October 1st?
Or was it September 1st?
I think it was like in September.
Just what we do now, man.
That's pretty impressive.
That's life, so.
It's a lot of work. I just want people to know, like, it's not easy.
We're doing this for you.
Yeah, we're doing this for you.
Yeah.
You want to be thankful for something? It's this.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
So before we dive too far, and we'll recover from that, we appreciate you guys being here, whether you're on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcast. Those are the 3 main platforms that we drop these episodes on. We do that every Tuesday and Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern time for the duration of the deer season, essentially. Mm-hmm. And I will say, on any of those platforms, if you give us like a like, follow, or subscribe, it'll give you some sort of a notification as to when these drops. But if you've written us on Instagram, DM, or the website, those are the 2 that we check the most frequently. And as I apologize every week, I've got a bunch of emails starred or flagged or whatever.
I always thought that was like you already answered them. So I'm like, no. I don't answer those.
You're like, wow, there's a lot. He's answered a lot in here.
Where I run into issues when you keep killing deer and then I've got all the Instagram things, I'm like, what do? I'm not Jared. I'm like, thanks.
That's fine. That's sufficient.
Yes, brother.
Yes. Yeah. So, well, either way, and I do see a lot of those. So
yeah.
Half the time,
bicep flex. those are my normal responses. As how would Jared respond?
Yeah, it's eggplant,
bicep flex,
the rock on.
Yeah, good. I'm on point then.
So, anyways, appreciate the messages. If you've we've got HUNTR merch on the website. A lot of you guys have bought that stuff, and that's super cool for us. Humbling to see people buy and be wearing our stuff, and that's fun for us. So thank you for doing that. And lastly, you can use code HUNTR, HUNTR, on any of our partners' websites for a discount in some way, shape, or form.
If you're thinking about it, tomorrow is Black Friday.
There you go.
So big deals probably coming up Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Use the code.
There you go. So, and in studio with us today, Dewaine Johnson, right?
Dewaine Jones.
Jones. I know it's a J. And son Hunter. Dude, and your first name is a wild spelling.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you call it the other day?
Dewaine.
Yeah, that was it. Dewaine. I was like, you mean Dwayne?
To be honest with you, and there's a little bit.
That's the West Virginia spelling.
There's a little bit of dyslexia on my end that I'm like, I don't know. And you and your wife have a combined.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's what threw me off
Jess,
too.
Right?
Dwayne and Jess.
Yeah. So it's not my fault. But.
He's like, yeah, I got Dwayne coming in studio. I'm like, what? Mike Dwayne, the governor of Ohio?
See, and that's just like, I'm a little retarded for that because like in person, I know your name is Dwayne. Like we talk, But I don't know. It's just that reading things is hard for me.
That's funny.
That old West Virginia spelling of Dwayne got him thrown out.
I've never met anyone with
that spelling.
Dewaine. See, that's way too many letters for.
Oh yeah.
Dwayne.
My dad's name is Dwayne, and it's Duane.
Yep.
So to me, I'm like, that's how you spell Dwayne.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's many right ways to do
it. Many ways. Anyways,
welcome.
Dwayne and Hunter, welcome to the podcast.
You.
All the way from Ohio.
Yep.
Not too far.
Yeah, it was probably a 4-hour trip.
So it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're about 45 minutes north of Columbus.
Okay. Yeah. So not too bad.
Yeah. Well, so I guess let's recall ourselves and also catch people up. We know you originally from Whitetail Edge, I think.
Yep.
And then maybe more recently, just friends of friends. And then more recently through, especially last ATA, or maybe it was 2 ago, we got to spend more time. We got to catch up more there.
Yep.
And then obviously just like online, texting, Instagram. So we've stayed in touch, sharing stuff. And so we're aware of you guys and also like your situation in Ohio and what you've been doing with Ben and the Whitetail guys. And and then more recently here, if I can hold them up for everybody to see,
Iowa is Iowa.
Went and had an eerily similar experience as we did.
Yes. I was there 3 hours.
So
boy, we just
not every tree, but not every tree.
All of the Iowa guys just said, "Damn it!"
I know it doesn't look good for the Iowa guys, but looks good for the Ohio boys. So 180 inches.
Yep.
Frickin'
Dude, that G2 is insane.
Yeah.
Yep. Frickin' monster. So
Thank
20.
you.
You said 20 scoreable points.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just leave that on the table. We'll hold them up here a couple times, but that's awesome. So I think that most recently was like we've been looking for an excuse to have you on at some point. I was like, there you go.
Well, it's cool because we talked about the Illinois deer last year, that experience, and just how that all fell together and like, wild.
What'd you kill in Illinois last year?
193.
193. Holy cow!
And I was there for an hour and a half.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So,
efficiency
I don't know what's going
seems
on.
to be the name of the game here. Yeah. Well, and I mean, like we were just talking pre-podcast, as a born and raised West Virginia boy, like in Pennsylvania, like whatever, we said our first dozen bucks we killed are in a 5-gallon bucket. Yeah. Right. Like that's just how we grew up. It was like, for me, it was like, if it was longer than a Lucky Strike, you killed it. Like that was the deal. And so to evolve, and that's what we were talking about with Hunter and at being at 15 and stuff, to evolve then into like the ability to have a chance to kill things like this is like,
dude, that alone, that's a once in a lifetime deer. Hunter, I hope you realize that. Like, you don't usually get to go and kill a 190, whatever, and then 180 the next year. Especially, I mean, I guess, and Ohio's kind of known for big bucks, but like, I don't know. We're East Coast guys, dude. Like, deer like this don't come across your desk every day.
What was it? Was it last year that the buck that you were hunting in Noble got killed?
Yeah.
That was last year. Yep. And it was like, you had all the eggs kind of in the basket.
Oh yeah, I was going to hunt that deer till the end of the season.
Yeah,
and being able to kill a deer of that caliber on my own property, was just like a dream.
Yeah,
and it didn't work out.
Remains a dream.
Yeah. The neighbor got him, and he killed him with a recurve, and he's a great guy.
Mind blowing.
Yes,
that was a giant.
Yes, and I went up to his lodge and shook his hand, and I congratulated him.
I want to shake your hand.
Yeah. I mean, he was, he was a great guy, and I was happy for him. It just didn't work out. It wasn't meant for, God didn't want me to kill that deer. But I killed a buck a little bit bigger.
Slammer.
Yeah, a week later in Illinois. So.
Well, I mean, that's what we talk about this all the time, and it's not to drill into like the Iowa or anybody in the Midwest side, but it's like, it's extremely hard to kill a high caliber deer like that in a state like Ohio, even just because of the way that the property sizes are and corn piles and everything else that we talk about that goes into it. But, what then makes it awesome to go out to Iowa and experience what Iowa is because our bar is set for Ohio essentially, or Pennsylvania or West Virginia, wherever you're from.
Yep.
And so when you go out there, like we're heading out to Kansas next week, it's like the bar is still set here because that's what we live. That's our mindset. That's our expectation. But the hunting is here in those states. So like you immediately, anything above the bar is like,
exceeds expectations.
This is amazing. Like it's the craziest thing ever. Like when I took my dad, who never hunted outside of Pennsylvania, to Kansas the first time, and like who knows what these deer actually were, right? But he tells the story every year of like how he watched this like probably 2.5-year-old chasing this doe, and they go down in the ditch. When they come back out, it's a bigger buck, and they go back down in the ditch, and it's a bigger, and who knows what it actually was, right? But to his, like, in Pennsylvania, that was never, like, it was incomprehensible that could happen. Yeah. So when you go out there, again, it's anything above that bar is just off the charts, right? And so, like, again, you go there, or the Illinois deer, and it's like, that experience is so special and so moving because it's like that's not the norm.
No.
Which is what makes it cool.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, dude, it's so crazy just to for me to see these things like in reality. I'm like, that lived out there, and then to picture this deer with this antlers, like bedded up next to a cedar or something like that. Like it's hard for me to.
Well,
comprehend.
what was the story here? I mean, so you've been building points in Iowa, right?
Yeah, I've wanted to hunt Iowa for 20 years. You know, I'm around the same age as you. Mark Jury is Michael Jordan to me.
Yeah.
And watching him and like killing all these big bucks in Iowa, I was like, man, I want to hunt Iowa so bad. But it never worked out. I just never had the money. I didn't want to waste my points and just go hunt state land.
Yeah.
I was like, when it comes together and I find a good place to go, I'll have enough points, and then hopefully I can save the money and be able to have a great experience. You know, and that was kind of my mindset, and it took me, 20 years.
Yeah.
But finally, my wife helped me pay for it. You know, she worked overtime and stuff, and I met a really good friend in Missouri, and he hooked me up with these guys out there, and we went out, put cameras up, and it was just insane.
So is it a lease property that you did?
Yeah. So the guys that lease it, they gun hunt it.
Okay.
And they live in Missouri. Well, they're related to the farmer, and they said, hey, would you, let this guy from Ohio go hunting on the farm? And he said, sure. So anyways, I pay the lease money, and I had 7 points I drew.
Yep.
And I go out
and
and
nobody, I mean, did they early muzzleloader hunt it? Or?
No, they just late season.
Just late season. So yeah, they're just playing that game.
Yep.
So nobody's been on it, no pressure.
No.
And so you pay it, you go out there for the first time, and you're like, or do you feel like I'm in the land of giants?
Yes. Well, and that was the cool thing about it. We went out and put cameras out, and it was
about when, Dwayne?
August. In August time frame.
So you knew this year leading up to it. You're like,
oh yeah, I was going to take a trip. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I was going to take a trip, and I was going to see what was there, because I didn't want to just shoot the first buck that I saw. Because of our expectations. I didn't want to shoot a 150 if there was a 220 there.
Yeah.
So anyways, we went out and put cameras, and
a lot, a little, big farm, little farm.
Yeah, it's a big farm.
Okay.
It's about 1,000 acres.
Okay. Yeah, big farm.
Yeah, and so when I went out there, I had 6 stealth cams, and I put them out.
And did they tell you ahead of time, like, hey, here's some deer we expect you to find?
Well, they knew some deer that should have lived and would be bigger, right? They were like, and gave me kind of like little points of where I should put cameras, and that was kind of it. So a week later, I got a 180-incher on camera. And I'm like, oh my gosh! Well,
what was the strategy for cameras? So that's in the summer. Did you put them on scrapes?
No. So what I did is I there was fence gaps. I'd put them on fence gaps, and out there. So like when you're raised, like we were hunting big timber.
Oh yeah.
It's way different than hunting a finger of woods.
I feel like a fish out of water a lot of times.
Well, and so like, but there's points that you can just see it. Like deer have to go through here, right? So I put one on a fence gap. I put one on a creek crossing, because a lot of, like out there in Kansas, especially in Iowa and Illinois, there's a lot of ditch crossings because the ditches, I guess, get washed out so deep.
Yep.
Well, I would find some crossings where they could actually get up over the bank. So I'd put cameras there, and the buck that I ended up killing, the guy that leases it actually had this camera on the backside, because I had all my cameras on the other side of the property. And he had a camera over there, and we got one picture of him on a trail. And I was like, man, he's got kickers and trash, and I've never killed a buck like that. I would like to go over and just get a look at him. Because I had some buddies told me that he wasn't that big, and he was maybe 150.
Yeah, because he's narrow.
Any buddies that we know?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
They're not named Ben and end with Ising.
The problem with Ben is, you can't show him a picture of a deer like, no, he doesn't have.
Well, and I don't text Ben a lot of pictures.
He's like, man, Dwayne, he's like, I drew for that unit too.
Yeah, funny enough. Yeah, I've got a landowner tag here.
But, like with Ben, so many people talk to him, and so many people send him pictures and all that kind of stuff, and I know he's busy. I usually just send them to him when they're dead.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the safest move.
That's the safest move for sure.
I was like, here he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but I did send him some pictures from there, and he's like, man, those are some good deer.
So you were like, hey, I want to get a look at this, but you had a bigger or other big shooters on camera?
Right around the same size. Yeah.
Okay.
And so when I first got there, I left my house at like 2 a.m. and drove. You know how we do. Just go. And,
you got to go, man.
Yeah. So anyways, I get out there, and the deer that I was initially going to go after, he was coming through this fence gap out of a cornfield, and it would go
different deer.
Yeah. And it was on the opposite side of the farm. So I said, well, I'll run in there and hang a stand for that deer, and I'll hunt him in the morning.
There you go.
I'll go over to the opposite side of the farm. The wind's good, where they had pictures of this deer, and I'll just see if I can see him. And so that's what I did. But I can remember I got in a tree. I took my Novix Hilo Hunt Ready, and I went in there and hung a stand.
Real quick, when is this? What time of year?
The 30th
of October.
Yeah.
Okay. First trip back.
Yeah, it's my first trip
back.
Are
you reading sign going in, or you're like, there's scrapes? Or?
Yeah, so when I want to get down there where I got a picture of him and see what's there, and then I'll hang. If I don't see him, it's okay. I'm going to go hunt the fence gap in the morning.
Safe play.
Yeah. So anyways, I go down there, and there's a field that comes down into the woods there, and there's a real tight fence around that field. And there's, you know how deer are, they're lazy.
Oh yeah.
So there's only a few spots that they're going to cross that fence, whether it's a hole or, you know, where a tree falls over or whatever. So when I get down there, I'm looking around, and the fence is coming around the bend of the woods, and there's a real steep bank, and it pinches them right there. And I can just see it.
Does that sound exactly like where I just
and I'm like,
no offense, but
he's got to do it right there. If he comes through, he's coming through right there.
Yeah, for sure. So I hung my Hunt Ready up there, and I got set up, and I can just remember sitting there and being so thankful to God, like, I'm in Iowa.
You're in Iowa. October 30th in Iowa.
Yeah.
What is a Hunt Ready? Is that the Novix running gun set?
Yes. Okay. So it's got the smaller stand, and then just the climbing sticks.
Okay. And did they how does that work? Do they all stick together? They fasten to them?
Yeah, everything sticks together, and it's real, like, super compact. And I was just going to leave the stand there anyway. I had one hung.
Yep.
But I take all my stuff and get down there and find that spot, you know, between that steep bank and that fence. And then I started to see rub line going out through there, and I was like, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
But like I said, I got set up, and I was sitting there, and I was just thankful.
The weather felt good?
Oh, yeah. It was cool. Wind's coming out of the west, and I'm just blessed.
Yeah, man.
You know,
because you're in it.
Yeah,
we know the feeling.
Yeah, and coming where I come from, in a holler in West Virginia, never ever thought that I would ever hunt big deer or you know, because we hunted my whole life, but it was to kill stuff, to eat.
Yeah.
You know, my dad killed a turkey, man. That was like flaming young.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was just so. I'm sitting there, and a little buck comes chasing a doe, and then some more does come out into that field I was telling you about. And
was that memorable for you? I remember the first deer I saw, and I'm like, that's my first deer in Iowa.
Yeah.
Check that off the box.
Yeah.
This 2-year-old, he looked right at me.
Yeah. And I was like, I was just blessed. And I put my foot up like this across my knee, and I was like, I can't wait to go back and eat some vegetable soup, watch TV, and hunt in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And I look out through the woods, and I see legs coming. And I was like, what's a deer? Well, I hear, like, the leaves crunching, and there's a deer walking up to my left. There's a doe, like, right 15 yards. This deer out here, I can't tell what he is, and I'm trying to get my camera on, you know, the gig. All that. So I'm trying to get my camera on and figure out what he is. And he puts his head down like he's smelling the ground where that little buck ran that doe through there. And then he brings his head up, and I saw his horns. And I was like, oh, man. So he saw the doe that's 15 yards from me and starts speed walking towards her. And he's like, you know, just grunting like crazy. And I'm like, oh, my gosh.
Freaking Iowa.
Well, and I'm trying to, I didn't want, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a 150, but I didn't want to shoot a 150.
Yeah, it's day one.
Yeah, it's day one, 3 hours into it. And so he's speed walking to her, grunting. I see the long tines, I see the junk, and he's heavy, and I'm trying to get, trying to video and do.
Are you like, it's that deer at that point, or are you still putting the pieces together?
Well, and so you see how his main beams are kind of offset.
Yep.
He was walking around the edge of that hill, and I thought he had a drop tine.
Oh.
Like it looked like it was like hooked down to where he dropped off. So I didn't think it was the deer.
That would have been an instant death sentence.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. And I was like, well, I got to shoot him. Like, and so he bumps the doe, and the doe runs right under my stand, and then he's 5 yards.
Oh.
And I draw and shoot him at 5 yards.
Oh my gosh.
And so I called my buddy, and I was like, I just shot a giant. He went, you've been there for 3 hours.
I know the feeling.
I said, yeah, I know. I said,
I've been on the receiving end of that phone call.
and
I for sure. I just shot a freaking giant.
Yeah.
I'm like, you've been here for 2 hours. It's like not even prime time yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, no way. And I said, yeah, man. And what's really funny is my uncle was telling me before I even went, he's like, you're going to be tagged out by Sunday. And this was Thursday. He said, you're going to be tagged out by Sunday. And I said, what are you talking about? Like, and he's like,
yeah, see how your tag here says IOWA? Yeah.
And he's like, I just have a feeling you're going to kill another giant. And I was like, well, whatever the good Lord wants is fine with me. I'm just happy to be here, because we put so much work into it and all that.
Yeah.
And I was just like sitting back, relaxed, and just happy to be there.
Yeah, and finally made it after a long drive. Like, you're in the stand, you're secure, wind's right, deer are doing deer things. Like,
and I wasn't expecting that at all, But like I said, when he came to 5 yards and I seen all this stuff going on, and I'm trying to, and I didn't get the kill shot on video.
No brainer.
And that was kind of disheartening, but
yeah, no brainer. When you see this coming,
was it close? Like, what was the camera angle?
Well, so I thought
he was too steep.
Well, so when he was coming in, I had my camera zoomed up on him, so you can see him coming in, and I zoomed it out, and then he comes 5 yards, and I thought I had it all the way zoomed. So when you have it all the way zoomed back, you get a big
prod.
Yeah, and I didn't, and I just
out of frame.
Yep. So I just whiffed it.
What are you filming? What are you filming with? What's this?
I have a Canon G40.
So like these,
like a handycam thing.
Yep, like those, and I had the painted arrow. That was what was really upsetting, is I had the painted arrow thing and my phone on and mounted on the mount, and I had gloves on, and when I hit my record button,
didn't register.
It didn't register, and I took my eyes off of it.
Yeah,
I went into kill.
It's a whole different game, man. When you're filming on that stuff he did. Both of the deer this year, you were freaking money with.
Yeah, and that's so hard, and especially
that's why I ask about the setup. It's all about like how easy is it?
Yeah,
like we film with our phones.
Yeah,
and I've just got intimately. Yeah, it's easy. I just double tap that sucker right there and click record. Yeah, and we use I want to know what kind of arm you use too, but I've got like a camera. It's a custom gear.
It's a razor arm,
like whatever folds up. Almost in your pocket. I mean, I put it in my pack, but it's super small. It won't hold a heavy camera. It's for filming with your phone.
Yeah.
I've got one of those painted arrow, whatever, heads on it.
Oh, okay.
And I've got, honestly, and I'll recommend it to Custom Gear makes one, but it's not my favorite. It's just like a Chinese, it's spring-loaded, hold your phone thing. Yeah. Dude, it's the one.
Yeah, it's great.
Works really good. And so, just flip it on, and that's what works.
Well, and that's what I said is when he came that close, the painted arrow was fine, and I thought it was
on
running.
Your bow, is what?
It mounts right on your. It mounts right on your stabilizer.
Yeah.
And like I said, I thought it was running, and he came in, and I was like, well, that's close enough for that. If I don't have my big camera on him, and sure enough, with the gloves, I hit the record, and it didn't. It didn't record.
Are you running a GoPro, like something like third angle?
Well, I had one. But that's the thing is like everything.
There
was one there. But that's the thing is like these guys that kill big deer.
Yeah.
Filming like that, like Adam Hayes is one of them that I've watched for years. When you kill giants like that on camera by yourself,
it's not.
It's impressive.
Jared Mills,
Mills.
A couple guys that are self-filming giants consistently. That's super impressive.
Yes, very. Yeah, my hat is off to them because that's not easy.
No.
Good footage, especially. I mean,
Jared runs like multiple DSLR cameras.
I know,
which is crazy.
He's getting super high quality stuff. You just have to be really intentional. I mean, I've got the last 3. Who's before Iowa? Well, it would have been the year before. Would have been.
You didn't get either of those Illinois
bucks
the first year.
I wasn't even filming.
We weren't
for
filming.
gun season.
Yeah.
I wasn't filming.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I wasn't even filming. But the last 3 bucks I've shot, I've got on camera. It's not high quality footage, but it's like they're in frame.
That's
on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, they died in frame.
Well, yeah,
that's my level of competency.
Well, and I always like, just with your phone, even if you're not filming for a show, just to be able to share it with everybody.
Oh yeah, man.
You know,
that's the fun part, just to relive them and watch them back and stuff.
And I've been filming with Ben for almost 7 years, and that was one of the first ones that I ever missed it.
Yeah,
and I was like, "You got to be kidding me." You know, but that's just part of the game.
It is part of it.
Yeah, you're going to miss a few if you hunt enough.
Is Ben doing, I know Javen films with him a lot.
Yeah.
Is that most, or does Ben doing some self-filming too?
Oh, yeah, he self-films. Well, I think the deer that he just killed.
Self-filming?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, dude, the cameraman thing is like, it's tough because it's like, dude, you heard us talking about my trip to Illinois, and that's what it takes. Those are the kind of trips it takes, and you go into Iowa and stuff. It's hard to find somebody that is competent, that loves hunting, that can stick up with you, keep up with you, that is willing to give up that time, you know? And it's just like, it's really hard to find that, like he's found with Javen, and a handful of guys over the years have found cameramen that work. We have never.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait till my sons are out of school.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, permanent cameraman.
Sure, there's nothing you'd rather do than take off time to come film
and
you.
And this is the thing. I've filmed Hunter. He's been on Whitetail Edge. He killed a nice 8-point out of our redneck on our property, and I filmed him. So. You know,
that's a different, like, when it's just you guys. Like, I mean, even like I said today, like I'll take my oldest out and I'll film them. Yeah. But like I'm not doing it for.
Yeah, and I never prod it in their face.
Right.
They want to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I've never pushed it. Like if you don't want to take the camera or whatever, you don't have. We don't have to do that.
Care. Yeah.
You know, just because I do it doesn't mean that you have to. But I guess maybe I've done something right because they like it. They enjoy it.
Well, it's fun to be able to watch it back.
Yeah.
It's like, even my uncle is like, he's anti. Like, I don't want filmed. I don't want. But it's just me and him. And even though like he knows we have like the podcast here and stuff, and so he's like he's aware definitely that it could be. And I'm like, dude, if you don't want me to like put it anywhere, I won't. Like, I don't care about that. Like, I'm not filming for a show. Yeah. Even our stuff, I'm just filming because like I've got to a point where I'm kind of enjoying it, and it's fun to be able to watch it back. And frankly, it's really helpful to know where you hit the thing.
Yep, absolutely.
Was that the deer I thought it was when I shot at it? Did I hit it where I thought I want? How did he react? Oh yeah, I didn't remember. Dude, we've literally blood trailed him for 50, 100 yards where I'm like, I stood in the tree and I'm like left around that tree, right around that tree.
You can watch it all and see right where you hit them, and you know, there's so much stuff out there. Deer cast, you can look and see where you hit them, and shows you the anatomy of the deer and all that stuff. So
how's that work?
Yeah, so on deer cast, you there's a deer cast track, and you take an arrow and put it on the deer,
like where you think you hit it.
Yeah, and then the anatomy of the.
It'll say like single lung or liver or whatever.
It shows all the anatomy of the deer, and then you know exactly what you got.
Does it let you turn like the angle?
Yeah,
and
it's cool, man.
Oh, that's super cool. And
anything from archery is cool.
Yeah, no doubt. And it'll give you a whole synopsis of where you likely hit it and how long to give it and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's cool.
There's videos where they'll tell you, you know, like wait 4 or 5 hours. You know, wait 4 or 5 hours.
Interesting.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Well, and the hardest part for most people is they black out when they shoot. Like they shoot it, and then they're like, because that's the first thing. Like anytime anybody, and we get a lot of like, here's the blood, here's whatever. I'm like, where'd you hit it? And they're like, could have been a little high, could have been a little back. I'm like, well, that's it. We're in trouble here. Like, was it high and was it back, or could it have been high and could have? So yeah, I mean, it's, you know, being able to try to understand that. But yeah, I mean, if you would give that to most people and say, hey, where'd you shoot that deer? They're like, they don't know, right? You know,
no, that's true.
And I've get it. I've been there before where it's like you get in those modes and you're like, I think it was a little high. I'm not sure, you know, and you're relying on where you were holding and what the deer did or whatever. But yeah, I mean, that's a really tough one for a lot of people to answer. You know, and 9 times out of 10, you walk up. If you do find it, you walk up and they're like, "Oh, it's not where I thought I hit it." You know?
Did you put a good hit on this deer?
Well, he was quartered to me. but like I said, he was 5 yards.
Yeah.
So I went tight to the shoulder and went back through. So I gave him like 4 hours before I went, and got him.
How hard was he quartering towards you?
I don't really know how to tell you. He was quartered enough to where I could still see the whole side, this whole side, right? So I'm going to hold it tight to his shoulder.
Yeah.
He wasn't straight facing me.
Yeah. And not like you're like, I got to put it through the shoulder.
No. Yeah, like I put it behind the shoulder.
Yep.
And then it went through liver.
So it's like single lung liver type hit.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
The HUNTR Podcast is brought to you by Hoyt.
Should be no surprise to anyone listening to this that back with Hoyt another season. I'm actually going to be shooting the AX2 aluminum this year.
You traitor.
But you're still going RX9.
Yeah, blacked out as always.
Blacked out. Yeah. Big surprise for
80
everyone.
pounds. Big surprise. Yeah.
But seriously, man, I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Every year it seems like we get a new Hoyt bow in our hands, and they're always a step above the last and just a step above everybody else.
Yeah, they're so consistent, man. Just their processes get better, every year. And we've really been excited about, as we've grown with Hoyt, we've brought some others in with us. And we just feel like the Hoyt family is growing, like the community, and we're really excited about the people that are involved, excited to be a part of that company. And it's really awesome.
So for anyone that's excited about Hoyt, like Jared and I are, you can use the code HUNTR, HUNTR, on Hoyt.com.
Get serious, get Hoyt. It's interesting how I think just your setup, different guys have different strategy. Like, so for me, I'm shooting 80 pounds. That's why I can get away with this. So, and I build everything accordingly. I've got a heavy forward, whatever, heavy FSA, all that. And so I, in that shot there,
you're probably going.
The shoulder's not there to me. I put it on. Where's it going to exit?
Yep.
And so I put them like right there.
Yeah. And I don't blame you.
But I've seen a lot of guys do exactly what you did, and that's like, I don't know, but it's safer. Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? You're not going to interfere with.
You're probably going to get a pass through
shoulder blade there and stuff, but.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, you always want to make sure that the more important is the exit, where it comes out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've hunted long enough to know that.
Are you shooting those mega meats or?
No, I use the T2s.
You use the T2s.
Yeah.
T2. What is that? What's that look like?
Yes, it kind of
the 3-blade expandable.
Two blade expandable.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really like it. It locks together.
Yep.
So there's no
no
collar, no nothing.
Yep.
And when you lock it together, like you can take it and it
ain't coming. Yeah. Yep. So that's leaving a good entrance and exit on that thing.
Yeah.
Did you hear about what that 8-point that I shot my broadhead? I caught it. It was my fault. I was bringing it around. Any expandable would have done it. I caught it on a tree.
Opened up. Yeah.
Pulled on it and it sprung open. And he's there 40 yards. Doe's like looking at me. And so what I did was and in my brain, I was like, I can't reset the thing without taking the arrow off or having two hands to somehow, like, it's just not going to happen in this moment. So I popped it off, dropped it out of the tree, put another arrow in, and was back in the game. I was talking to David Hauser, is one of the engineers of those Beast broadheads. That's what it is. And I was telling him this the other day, and he's like, dude, you could have just shot it with it open. Yeah. I was like, you can? He's like, yeah, it'll fly exactly the same. I'm like, you're kidding.
He did say that?
Yes.
Really?
That's when I was talking to him yesterday morning.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, not bragging to him, but I was like, yeah, dude. It was like, I pulled that off. I got the new arrow. He's like, you could have just shot it. It would have been fine.
It was funny, watching the video, seeing him with two arrows and getting one off, and then just boop, dropping it, and then knowing your butt's
sound like
puckered.
A little acorn, you know?
Yeah.
Your butt's so puckered because you're like, is he gonna notice? Is it nothing? And then back into the game.
That's awesome.
There's things in deer hunting. Maybe this is one of the things I like about it so much. It's just you have to. I even noticed it on just walking in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where it's just you almost you're don't want to, you're head down. I just got to keep, you got to keep, it's dark and it's whatever. And it's I'm hot but especially it's amplified in the moment where it's shooter's there. And it's you don't have a choice. You have to put a new arrow on. You have to drop it out. You have and it's not you have to, but for you to achieve that goal, that's the life or death moment. You you power through and you do. And it's fun to look back on. You're I don't even know why I did that. I don't know how that came to my mind, to be able to pull that off. But
I remember one time
brings it out of you.
The first buck I ever killed in Ohio, and he looked like a giant. And so he's walking across this field, and I have 2 does. This is actually a cool tip that I learned myself just out of curiosity. So the deer's walking across this field, and there's 2 does underneath me, and it's like November 6th, something of that nature. And I grunt, and he looks, and then he keeps walking. You ever had that happen?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A lot of hunters. have.
Yeah.
Most times, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, he walked a little bit. I grunted again. Well, by this time, those does are looking at me.
Oh yeah. They're like,
So, yeah.
What?
Well, he looked, kept on walking. So I had a light bulb moment, and I thought, I'm going to scare those does off, and when they run, I'm going to brrr.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, get out of here, get. And they're looking at me, and they've been eating acorns there for 20 minutes. Well, finally, when they run,
Mm-hmm.
and thank God they didn't blow or nothing,
Yeah.
they just ran.
Yep.
And I was like, brrr.
Yep.
And he didn't even, he jumped the fence and
That was
came
it.
running.
Yep.
He heard them running, and I grunted. So if anybody out there
that's
listening,
a good move, man.
I'm telling you,
Even if they would have blown, I mean,
Yeah.
I've watched. It was in Illinois. It was like a 3-year-old, but like there were does in the field, and all of a sudden you see him coming, and they blew at him as they were going. And
Yeah.
I mean, any other buck in the area would have been like, oh, yep, that's normal.
well, and that's me and my son were hunting the other day, and we had a doe come in, and she kind of looked up in our direction, and when she trotted away, she didn't blow or anything. When she trotted away, I grabbed my grunt call real quick, and I was like, brr, brr.
Yeah.
And he's like, what are you doing? And I said, well, a buck that's walking,
Yeah.
100 yards away who doesn't see anything going on, he hears her running
Mhm.
and then hears me grunt, he might come.
Yeah.
Mhm.
At least give you some cover there, basically.
Yeah. And he's like, man, I never really thought about it like
They
that.
do that a lot, man. They're very vocal.
Yeah.
In most encounters that I've had with bucks that are near does, or they're ripping on it.
Yeah.
As you're telling that, we're talking about calling and stuff. My mind went back to like just recalling bits of this one here, and knowing that deer was probably in that thicket the whole time. Dude, I rattled twice that morning.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was the first all week.
Wow.
He absolutely heard it.
Yeah, I just don't think he'd care.
Well, and maybe not. He did. It was a long enough time that I didn't connect the two.
Mm-hmm.
That it's not like he came into a rattle, but like he absolutely heard that. I
Yeah.
wonder if
Well,
he was
and-
like wanted to come check it out later in the morning or what.
Yeah. And that might have got him up just to come out there to
wonder.
investigate it.
Yeah.
Because I rattled probably 20 minutes before I saw this deer,
Really?
20, 15 minutes before. And I thought, because there was a finger that wrapped around that field, went up in there. And I thought, well, if there's one laying up
Oh,
in
yeah.
there,
He'll
they,
hear it.
Yeah. And they can't take it. Like, think about it.
Mhm.
If you know, if me and Jeremy are down there hanging out and big buff guys up here laying down and
Yeah, just slamming away.
Yeah, just like we're just dropping all the weights out.
And you're
They're like,
like,
who's doing that?
yeah.
That's
And
unethical.
then finally you're like, well, I really don't want to get up, but I'm going to go down there and check
I'll
it
go
out.
check it out. I'll
Do
just
you
see.
do you do a lot of
Oh, yeah.
rattling? You do.
Yeah.
Have you rattled in many big bucks?
Well, I mean, the one last year in Illinois, I rattled him in.
Really?
Yeah.
That's our
And-
big woods mines, though.
Yeah.
Like I felt like compelled to rattle growing up because I'm like they could be just anywhere, and
Well,
like they need
but
to hear it.
I've learned over the years, like I used to just blind rattle like every 20 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of deer will get downwind of you.
Yeah.
So now I more or less like
Intentional.
Yeah,
Wait till
well,
you see
think
him
about
or-
this. So I thought about that finger
Mm-hmm.
and that tight fence going around that field.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, well, there ain't really no way unless he goes through the fence he's going to get
He's not
downwind
going to
of
get
me.
downwind of me.
No.
Yeah.
So I thought if he's laying there, he may come out
Mm-hmm.
and check it out. Well, the deer in Illinois walked across the cornfield, and Ben always told us, like, I like to pick people's brains. Like, I'm not a guy that thinks I know everything. I love to learn, and that's why I wanted to get on Whitetail Edge anyways.
Yeah,
was
just to learn about it.
Yeah, to be a good deer hunter because he's one of the best in the country.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ben's one to attach yourself
Yeah,
to.
yeah. So that was the reason behind me wanting to be on the show. I was like, I want to get around that guy and learn.
When did you kill that one in Illinois last year?
November 17th.
Yeah, and see, I think that's the time that those mature bucks will respond because it's tailing off.
Mm-hmm.
They got to work a little harder to find the does,
Yeah.
and I think they will do that stuff more so than like whatever the 12th when you killed that one. He probably had a doe right there.
The first I rattled all year.
Yeah, and he's probably like, he's not going to come in running, I guess is what I'm saying to that. He's, maybe he checks it out or gets curious at some point.
I stopped rattling in October just because And if I do, it's like a tickle.
Yep.
It's not like a fight. I just want them to think that like there's little guys down here that must be on some acorns or something. I'm going to go just show them what's up.
Well, and most of the time, that's how I rattle all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the big deer, he came down, Ben always say, let him get out of sight so they don't see you.
So you saw him first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw him. He went down into the bedding area, and I
That's
waited
the
just a
move.
little bit.
Yeah,
And when I rattled, I didn't.
Yeah, just tickle him.
I just rubbed them together. And if you think like
Using like a little black rack.
Yep. Black rack from
as much as I made fun of them for the first couple of years.
Yeah.
And they were cheesy for a while. They were like cheap plastic, but they improved a lot. That's what I run now because they're so compact.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
well,
they're good.
and those guys, man, like they started their company in the garage.
Yeah.
They are great people.
Yeah, we know JJ
Yeah.
and those guys.
Those guys?
We like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just amazing people.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, when the deer goes down in there, I just rub them together, and he comes out of there mad.
Yeah, because he's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, yeah, and he walks 15 yards.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fun to see them do that thing. Like, because there's so many, dude, like your first 10, 15 years of hunting, probably you never saw a 5+ year old buck do that. And then when it's the Midwest that's opened us all up to that, we were like, oh, like they actually will come out and defend their territory. They'll act like a big buck, and they'll do it in daylight on the right days, the right conditions and stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's what we're doing. I mean, dude, there's nothing like it.
Have you seen them doing that stuff in Ohio much?
No, not as much.
I think it's the
well,
pressure.
Yeah. Well, and this is what I always tell everybody is Ohio is against two of the biggest hunting states.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more hunters per square mile in Pennsylvania probably than any other state.
There is.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And then West Virginia is right there close.
And
we all
Michigan to
hunt.
the north.
Yeah.
So, they're surrounded.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you can drive 3 hours and go there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many hunters. And there's, back years ago before social media and all that kind of stuff, you didn't really hear nothing about it.
Mm-mm.
Well, once social media and everything got crazy, I mean, it's 3 hours to drive to Ohio. Let's go.
Yeah. And they're smaller parcels for the most part compared to most of the Midwest stuff.
Yep.
So it's just, I mean, you're just packed in there. Like the guy's got 3 acres and a corn pile and he's hunting right next to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You like a 3-acre hunter in Illinois doesn't necessarily threaten me.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. Your 3 acres, like good luck.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
and out there, there's a lot of food and there's not as many people.
Yeah.
Because it takes from Pennsylvania to get to Illinois is
It's a trip.
Nice.
yeah.
Yep. It's a trip.
Where Ohio is a couple hours.
Well, and like even though they just raised it, it's double the cost for an archery tag non-resident in Illinois.
Yeah.
It's whatever $230 or something in Ohio, but it was only $150 or something, $175.
Yeah, it
something
wasn't expensive.
Yeah, and so it's still in comparison to like Illinois, it's not. It's not even Kentucky. Kentucky's $400 for an out-of-stater.
What is it in Illinois for a non-resident regular tag?
It's like $400.
Yeah, $400
With
just for
the
your
deer
tag.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
400
With a deer tag.
Yeah.
Kentucky's $400 with a deer tag.
Yeah.
So there's Ohio sitting there at now 200 and some
Dirt
bucks, still dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And
I think the genetics in Ohio are as good as
they
any
are.
state.
I know
yeah.
that they are.
Did you hear about that? You know about the one I shot opening day?
The 8-pointer?
No. What 8-pointer?
The one you had.
Oh, no. I shot that a week ago in Illinois.
Oh, okay.
That's 2 in Illinois.
Oh, okay.
No.
Because you're a landowner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I shot one in, I'm a landowner.
You're a landowner.
I
own land.
I always think of that Family Guy clip where Stewie's like, it's good to own land. Yeah. But no, I shot a 4-year-old opening day of gun season. We didn't talk about this?
No.
I passed him last year on November 1st. It was like a really solid 3-year-old, like just looked like he was going to blow up. He was probably 40.
Yeah, high 40s.
No.
Mid to high 40s?
Maybe mid 40s.
Well, we never got to see the sheds, but yeah, mid to high 40s.
I guess we'll never know. And I was like, he's going to blow up. Clean pass. There he was, 8 yards, whatever.
He did. He blew up.
He did. He blew up and had all kind of changes with family property and stuff like that. Ended up having an Amish guy move in, get this new, and this deer was flirting a line, between the two.
Yeah.
And we both were on him opening day. He shot him first light, 40 yards with a crossbow off his feeder. I heard the shot. He comes over to me. I shoot him. Jumps to the fence there. Not like he's mine.
Yeah, no,
but
I get it.
And honestly, I ended up calling a warden after and like making sure like everything was legit and stuff.
Yeah.
And the deer was dying. You know, he was mortally hit for sure. He was shooting these crazy broadheads. It was like a SWAT broadhead. The cut in that thing was like 3 inches big.
Oh wow!
On entry and exit.
It's like hard quarter 2 through into liver. Frankly, I was surprised that deer was still living when he got to you.
Yeah.
Like that was a massive cut through that thing.
Yeah. And anyways, he jumps the fence. I shoot him, lace him, and he dies. You know, he runs down and piles up. And that deer ended up being, and I don't know, like I didn't tape him myself, but he claims he had him professionally scored by a whatever they call it,
Buckmasters.
Buckmasters, and it was 196 and some change.
Wow.
I don't know. He didn't look like it to me.
Probably high 70s, low 80s is what we thought.
And I held him in my hands. I had plenty of time with him, you know.
As a 4-year-old, future 200, no doubt.
Oh yeah.
And truthfully, it conflicted me to even. And me and this guy discussed it. We're like, hey, dude, I don't like his chance of living, even with you and me being on the same page here. I said we probably should hunt him, you know, and sure enough, and we did, and we both shot him, and
couldn't end it any better.
So yeah, but and I ended up giving that guy, I gave it the deer. I said, hey, you killed it, you know. So here you go, and but just to the genetics, like, yeah, dude, we get those deer. It's so rare that I can't believe that deer lived past 3.
Yeah.
The only reason it did was because nobody was hunting my uncles at the time, and I passed him. And then the next year was like his time was up. So, but they got the genetics; they can do it if they.
It's just really hard to get them to 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really
well,
hard.
and that's the thing is like, and take yourself back to where we grew up, and you know, so here comes 130, 140 inch deer. It's a big deer,
dead.
You know, and a guy that's got 1 week off, he's out there hunting.
Even today, man. Like I talk to my family members. They'll be like, "Man, I saw a giant the other day." And then eventually I'll get a picture of it, and it's 130, 140 inch deer. But that's still the biggest deer they would ever kill.
And that's the same way with us until we started going
and
getting into it.
I still get it. You know? Like I'll see a big 3-year-old in Illinois come through, and I'm like, that's a big buck. And then I'm like, I don't know.
Jeremy had a couple more. You had a little more time to soak in the Pennsylvania mindset before we started going out together.
A lot of time to soak. Like I said, the first dozen bucks I killed are in a 5-gallon bucket somewhere.
He's got a little bit more of that in him than I do. Yeah. For whatever reason, I started going to Ohio and stuff. My uncle was pretty accomplished.
You skip the steps of just like
I did
killing deer.
Yeah, dude. The smallest deer I ever shot was like a 115 inch 2-year-old.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
that was my first one.
Well, and my kids, I mean, I'm sure that's the same way they'll be.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it just depends on your situation.
We just killed deer.
You know, that's right.
They just killed a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Like just lethal. Yeah.
And I mean, you know, I
wouldn't trade it either, man.
No, me neither. Me neither. Not in a million years, because it taught me so much.
Yeah.
And like I can remember me and my brother would take our BB guns, and my dad was a coon hunter.
Uh-huh.
So we would take our BB guns and sneak up on deer in the fields with our BB guns and shoot them with our BB guns. And it would be like, poop. And they would get up and run off.
Yeah.
But we were just crazy about sneaking up on stuff.
Oh, yeah, man.
Squirrels, and, you know, Dad would tell you to take your shoes off, you know, sneak through the woods with your socks on and sneak up on these squirrels. And it's just the way we were.
Well, you didn't hunt out of state either. Like
No.
you hunted in state. You had whatever tags you had to do it. I mean, I couldn't tell you the number of button bucks I knocked the milk off the lips. You know, I didn't care. Like if I had an antlerless tag in my pocket and an antlerless deer came through, I killed it.
Oh yeah,
Shot it.
That's what I told I told Hunter. I was like, when I was a kid and bow hunting, whatever gave me a broadside shot,
man.
I shot it.
I shot it.
First deer to come in.
I think I probably got like an early lesson of like killing stuff, you know what I mean, with running around with like my cousin in Nebraska and just other stuff where it's like I killed stuff. Yeah, like don't get me wrong, but that especially like, because dude, those guys were just shooting stuff out of their trucks, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And
That was a different lifestyle.
And I remember, and on the other end, yeah, it was just
because when was your accident?
I was 15,
Okay.
14, 15.
So that was what, like 2008?
Yeah, I graduated in 2011, so 10, 9, 8, 2008.
So your like seriousness of hunting changed about that time, right?
Yeah.
And at that same time is when Midwest Whitetail, Outdoor Channel, like all of that stuff was like,
Yep, for sure.
so that was your like pipeline, I think probably because all of that was available. Well, like when Dewaine and I were growing up, it was like Buckmasters on TNN and like Realtree, and like they were just hunting in Texas over Senderos. And I'm
you know what I wanted to do for a living when I was a kid? You remember those hunter specialties hunters?
Oh yeah, dude.
They would drive around in the
Freaking
trucks.
Matt Moret works for the Game Commission
dude.
now.
That was my dream job.
I know it.
Eddie Salters.
Yeah, dude. Rick White. Yeah, those dudes just got paid to go around
Alex
and kill stuff, man.
Rutledge. I
Rutledge.
always called them contracted killers.
I remember I would see one of their yellow trucks when you're out on the road, and you're like,
that's what I wanted to do.
That was like the generation we grew up with, you know? And so it was like, that was... because it wasn't so readily available, it was like you watched it or you read Deer and Deer Hunting or Buckmasters or whatever, but it was so far out of reach.
Yeah.
Like and it was so inconsistent in the amount of content you got. Like you still just lived in your own little bubble.
Yep.
Whatever was local. You know, versus like I think in your time and now obviously in Hunter's time, it's like here it all is. Like here it all is on the table.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
Just consume it and Because I mean, I think Bill was probably a pretty early influence on...
For sure. At that time, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, and even before, though, because it's not like I started hunting when I was 15. Like,
right.
I was giddy to start hunting when I was 12. And I remember it feeling like it took forever. When I was 10 and 11, I was like, when is this going to get here? Like, I'm ready. Like, let's go. And so at the time, I was trapping then. So I could duck and goose hunt with my dad, which we did a lot of. We did like dove. Like that was just kind of, I don't know, he got me a shotgun for like my 12th birthday, something like that. And trapping was big.
Yep.
So like I was no stranger to like killing them. You know what I mean? You know. But on the other end, my uncle had like such a high regard for big whitetails. And almost like
where did that come from? Because he killed that one big one?
Yeah, well, dude, he's geared like us, you know, and he just like at some point got fixated on them, you know, and he had a little bit of, relative success. Like in Crawford County, Pennsylvania, he was killing 125-inch 3-year-olds.
Which is big for like, because he's older than us.
Yeah.
So back then, like, I mean, that was getting paraded
Dale's
around
early
town.
60s, mid 60s now.
Yeah.
And so he was like highly regarded, I think, by other guys that, because it wasn't about how big of a buck could you kill. It's just, could you kill a buck with your bow every year? Like
that's exactly what it was.
That was like really something. And so he was like doing that and killing better deer than most people. And even to the point where at one point he killed the Crawford County bow record. I think, I don't know if it was like the all-time record or the biggest that year, but it was like is it high 60s or?
That'd be big for Pennsylvania during the like 90s, early 2000s.
Or maybe 160s. Like it's like just a very nice 3-year-old, a really nice, framey 11, 12 points, something like that. And at the time it was like he was in the newspaper. It was in a newspaper. Like they did an article.
A big deal, man.
Yeah.
And so for him, he's like,
So that's what set it out. Like,
yeah. And he's just like, he's not a sensitive guy, but like he's just like he's not a killer in the sense that like we all are. I think like we just have a high regard for the animal, and it's like the killing them is not the fun part. For I think a lot of us get there eventually, where you're like, I don't enjoy killing them. No. Like it's almost there's a sadness to it. It's a respect for the animal. Yeah, that's the part that a lot of people have a tough time explaining. What that is, but. So I got that from him heavy early on, and I contrasted that with like the just shooting shit out of the truck with my cousin, and I was like, okay, so where do I fall in this spectrum here? Yeah, and that set me on a course for that
makes sense
for that. So
yeah,
dude, the trajectory. So I just never got that shooting a bunch of deer. I shot that 2-year-old. Yeah, it took me years to do it. I didn't kill that thing till I was probably 16 years old. I hunted 16 or 17.
Yeah,
so I hunted from the time I was 12.
But you didn't really gun hunt, did you?
No.
Yeah. So that's the other big
I didn't really gun hunt.
I mean, you killed your first buck with a gun like 2 years ago.
Yeah. I've only ever shot one.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I shot that. But I shot that 2-year-old by myself with my bow. And my buddy Zacho was sitting in a brush pile.
That's funny.
Over there, just like watching. He's like,
what a weirdo.
Made a terrible shot on it. I shot it like in the back leg. Had to chase it.
Straight femoral artery.
It was crazy. But So
awesome.
from there, then a couple of years later, I shot a 3-year-old in Ohio with my bow. That was my next one. So, and then from there, I started, and at that point, that was then your Midwest Whitetail influence. And I was like, okay, 4-year-old and up. Like, that's where it's at. And it took years, dude. It was really hard. It was several years where I didn't kill anything. A lot of years. 90% of my success has been in the past, I don't know, 5 years.
Probably. Yeah. 5.
Yeah, you're coming up fast.
Well, you just eventually,
you're evolving quick.
You got to kill one to understand it.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I learned so much on this deer here that I can take and apply to the next one. And then it compounds when you kill 2 of them, 3 of them, 4. You're like, okay,
I get it.
You get some confidence, get your legs under you.
And it's also,
you surround yourself with guys that can help you.
It's also an access thing. Like, even hunting
100%.
early Ohio, like, you guys didn't have a big farm to hunt in Ohio, right?
No. Well, so my grandpa was like an awesome, like, he was like a gangster. He did really well with like an early bank thing.
Yeah.
And then, which was well before my time, rolled that into a farm, rolled that into a tile operation. So it's called Summitville Tile. It's like, to this day, I just bought some this morning for our ice cream shop down there.
Really?
It's the wood grain tile that you see in all the old stuff. That's where it came from. He invented that. And then sold that to some family members and stuff, and then used that money and rolled it into a farm and built over time a massive farm, like a 5,000 acre contiguous piece.
That is awesome.
And was one of the founding members of Certified Angus Beef Association, if you've seen that stamp on the thing. And so the farm that we're on is one of the farms where they did all that genetic testing and everything like that. And so he had this monster farm, and he was alive until I was around the time of my accident. It was 14 or 15 that he passed away. But that entire time leading up to that, several years of which I was like ripping to bow hunt, the whole farm was leased. Like, they leased the whole thing through base camp leasing. And so the only stuff that Dad and I had to hunt was like the stuff that wasn't worth leasing, like little fence row garbage and whatever. And so, it wasn't until, I don't know, 17, 18, 19 that maybe some more of that farm started to open up. When Grandpa died with his estate, my parents bought 1,000 acres of that farm. My uncle bought another big chunk of it, and the rest of it got sold off. My uncle continued to lease his stuff out, so we never really got to hunt it.
Wow.
But I mean, 1,000 acres is more than you could ever ask for. So that aligned with whatever timing on the Midwest Whitetail stuff was like the dream. Yeah. Like, okay, I have room to work here, as a 20-year-old kid, 25-year-old guy. I was like, I can start to, like, let's do some food.
Well, and that's what
plots.
it was. Because I think it was that, and then paired into, we started leasing land in Kansas.
Well, you took me to Kansas.
Yep.
Dude, that for me was like, I remember, how long ago was that? 7, 8 years ago?
Yeah, probably 8 years ago.
8 years ago. So I'd have been, what, 25?
Mm-hmm.
That to me was like the most epic thing you could ever do. I was like, dude, Jeremy goes to Kansas. Like, that was lit. There was years there where the first 2 years I was like, maybe I'll get to go someday.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Jared worked for me.
I worked for him. It was like my boss. And I was like, well, yeah, I can't afford or have the time off to go to Kansas. Like, that's crazy, But
yeah, I'm taking the time. You can't have the time.
Yeah. And you barely took the time. You'd go for like 4 days.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Because you were like working so hard.
I had to get back. Mm-hmm.
So, but then, eventually we went to Kansas. At some point there, I drove to Illinois. That was one of my first, like, I borrowed my dad's truck, and I had a buddy from an internship that I did years ago, and he's like, I know a farmer that would probably let you hunt. And
oh, wow.
Yeah. Ended up letting all the farmers.
Yeah, that didn't work out real
letting all
well.
his cows out open, left a gate open. It's kind of a big learning, good learning experience.
Good learning experience.
But, and then they roll, eventually, we made it back to Illinois at some point. We did Kansas for a while. Ohio started to come around. I drew tag in Iowa. Eventually we went and did North Dakota. And
and 3 years ago, you buy land in Illinois.
We bought a farm in Illinois 3 years ago.
Awesome.
Which we've killed. How many bucks have I killed off that farm?
4.
I killed $4 off that farm. We bought 2 years ago. Had we sat here 3 years ago, and I never would have put that together.
Yeah. That's so cool.
So I think that's the, if you look at it, because like the first piece of property I bought was that cabin in Kentucky, and that was in 2019. So that was 6 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I was 35 before I even bought a place, 39 when we bought the Illinois stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's like, that's the generational difference, is like the majority of my teens into late 20s was hunting public land.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe some permission properties.
Yep.
You know, and not until my mid 30s before I leased something, probably.
Yeah.
It would have been the first time I leased something, early to mid 30s. So it's like, then it's like a whole different world opens up of like what you can and can't do. Before that, it's like, you know, even when I lived in Missouri for a while, like I hunted public land and I killed a couple 4-year-olds, and like that was like the pinnacle.
Oh yeah.
It was like I killed a 4-year-old buck in the Midwest. Like this is it, you know.
The fact that we did it together, I think too, probably has a lot to do with it. In terms of like, I don't know if I would have just on my own, I definitely couldn't buy the farms that we own by myself. You know, we share the cost in that.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, would I have gone and pushed the limits of some? I mean, some of it probably, yeah, eventually, but like it's helped a lot that we have been able to do it together, and we can drive together and all the above, you know. So, and there's been other guys like, you know, to have somebody to do it with, to drive, you know, to be able to hold the fort down while you're gone, or, you know, just a support system, you know. It's like that's big. That's a big part of it.
Yeah, you're blessed to have a friend like that.
I know it.
Yeah, because you don't find very many friends like that.
I know it.
Yeah.
The HUNTR Podcast is brought to you by Predator Camo.
Man, this one feels good, right? I know people have been looking at this picture over your shoulder for a while now. I think that was 2018, but we just, over the last, you know, how many years, keep coming back to Predator Camo because it's been so damn good for us.
No doubt. I think we bought our first set off of Jen at the Archer Trade Show almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And Jen's still with the company, and the patterns have, you know, only improved since then. They actually were recently acquired within the past couple of years. We've had a chance this past year to go and meet with new ownership, talk about redesigning a lot of the old lines, plans for new patterns, all of the above. So really excited about what's to come, not only this coming year, but in years to come. You know, there's a lot of good stuff coming from Predator.
Yeah, and I mean, for us, it's always been going back to that breakup pattern, right? That's the historic look, whether you're talking about the spring greens or brown deceptions or fall grays. Yeah. I mean, that breakup is really what's been so powerful for us in a tree stand. And right now, they're letting anyone use the code HUNTR on the Predator Camo website and get 20% off any of the lines, including all the new stuff that dropped here in July.
Be the Predator.
Well, and the tough part, and I want to get into it, is like I've got kids now.
Yeah.
Like we were just talking about Illinois. It's like we've got a couple good bucks out there still, and I'm sure something else will show up. And like one of them's, you know, it's a great 10-point. Like I'm at the point even right now, like, dude, I've only, besides like our Illinois trip, like I haven't really hunted this year myself. I killed an elk in Kentucky early, which was like checklist, bucket list, like off the charts. First time I've ever killed an elk. But beyond that, like I've spent, if I have hunting time, just like today, like it's with the kids.
Yeah.
Like I'm just trying to get them a deer out there. So it's weird in terms of like time
We're
frame
at a
and
different
commitment.
place with that.
Yeah.
Well, and that's, I mean, like me with my kids now, I went, you know, through what you're going through, you know, taking them and, you know, they had basketball and I'd coach them in basketball and all that
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. And so now, you know, Sammy, he's 18 and Hunter's 15 and they want to hunt.
Yep.
You know, and Sammy, he wants to do it on his own.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I want to go and try it on my own, you know, and hang his own stands. And I'm like, okay, man.
Go for it.
You know?
Yeah.
And Hunter, he's kind of, you know, still at home and hanging out. And
yeah.
And he's going by himself some. And I want him to learn, you know. You're better off like the things you can learn by yourself. You know, you'll remember those things. But, you know, it's just like I said, soak it up while they're young. Enjoy it. Because one day they'll be like, well, I'm going to go hang my stand and I'm going to go hunt.
I know.
And, you know, and that's just how that goes. But
just be running the farms.
Yeah.
Well, and it's tough too. Like what you're saying is like I've got more flexibility than Jeremy because he's got kids, he's got responsibilities, you know. And
I just got back from 4 days in Florida, taking him to Universal Studios during the 3 of the best rut days that like I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and I'm over here with no kids. I'm like, okay, like I'll be in Illinois if you need me. Like,
yeah, I get it.
But also, I don't want to abuse that either. Like Jeremy and I own the farm together. You know, it's like how many. I don't want to take advantage of. You know.
Yeah.
So we, you know, that's on a daily, you know, or it's a what's the word? It's ever evolve. You know what I mean? On a daily basis, it's like, okay, how many bucks do we have? Like, what's the right number to take off the farm? And
Yeah, I just
all that.
I have to think of them as investments. That's
Yep.
all I look at. I mean, they're hunting properties too. Like
Yeah.
I want to enjoy. That's why I'm investing them, is because it's not paper. Like I can go out and enjoy them. I can hunt them. I can shed hunt. I can do whatever. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just deer and
that's
investments.
Yeah, and spending time with your kids right now while they're young.
Yeah.
Because one of these days they're not going to want to hang out with you.
Yeah, I mean,
that's they got their buddies, and
whether I'm sad about it or not. And I mean, it was fun. But my kids had 3 days at Universal Studios that they would have had way more fun than sitting in a tree stand with Dad.
Yeah.
Like that's just where they're at in life. Like they were riding roller coasters and doing crazy shit. Like they had way more fun doing that. Like they'll talk about that for the next 5 years versus if we sat in a tree stand for 3 days.
Yeah.
That's just where they're at in life.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
You'll definitely have that. Like, dude, there was lots of years, even when I was hunter's age, or where I was like, I wasn't going to prioritize hunting.
Yeah.
Like I liked
and I
it.
didn't either. Basketball was my thing.
Yeah.
Like through school,
Mm-hmm.
I hunted in West Virginia, the rifle season comes in Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So during that time frame, I hunted.
Yep.
But I was basketball crazy.
Oh yeah.
So when I got out of school, I think that was another thing that fueled me with the hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Is that now basketball's over? What am I going to do?
Yeah. What do you fill that void with?
Yeah. Yeah. What am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
And then like I said, juries was coming on big and all that. And I was like, man, and I got the dream season suit and all that.
Yeah.
And I just started hunting like crazy.
Well, that's when Jeremy was talking about my accident in high school. I got a motocross accident.
Oh,
So
wow.
before that, I was like motocross, football, wrestling, whatever else you do when you're 14.
Yeah.
But then when I had that accident, it was like
Life changing.
damn near, killed me,
Yeah.
And it's like,
No contact sports.
yeah, so no more full contact sports, like no wrestling. I got a bone graft in my nose. Like, so it's like if it breaks, it's like I'm fragile, and from that regard. And so I remember sitting in a room where they're like, I'm like, I wrestle, like, what's that look like? And the guy's like, no more wrestling. And I'm like, what about football? And he's like, no more football. And so it's devastating, right?
Yes.
I'm like, my
100%,
identity is those things, and I hunted, but it had taken a backseat to those things. But when that happened, that was like okay, so what do I do now?
Mm-hmm.
I can remember like with my trach-in, literally like a lot of the time that I spent was like working on my traps and stuff. I was like, well, I guess, this is like, I can do this, and so I would like work on my traps, and like that ultimately I think led to bow hunting. It's like they're tied together, but
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that was a turning point where, not that I would wish that injury on anybody, but like that happens. You know what I mean? You find a point where you're like, hey, this is no more. So like, who am I?
Yeah. Well, and that's like me. I was going to go play basketball right down the street here at Penn State Fayette.
Oh yeah.
And my grades were crap, and we didn't have the money, and I just said, well, I'll go to work.
Mm-hmm.
And then fall came, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, no basketball practice, no. Okay, well, I'm going hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then hunting filled that
filled
for
the
me.
void.
Yeah.
You see that with most people that played sports, like throughout high school and even into college and stuff, is like you've always been driven with something. Like there was always a goal-oriented type mindset.
Yeah.
And when it ends, which most of us who don't go pro in something, it ends, or injury ends it, then it's like there's a huge void that you have to reach out and grab something.
Something you have. I always had to have a challenge.
That's it.
And like hunting, when you're hunting a big deer, it's challenging.
Yep.
Right? It's hard.
Yeah.
And I remember I had people tell me, you're never going to kill big deer, and you're never going to do this. And to me, that was just like taking a lighter and throwing it in a bucket of gasoline.
Yeah, just lit it up.
And I was like, you have no idea what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to go through, whatever I had to do as far as what I needed money or whatever. I would do whatever I had to do to be able to hunt and hunt big deer.
It's such an extreme challenge. I mean, who knows? Maybe there's guys on the other end of it that are like, I mean, I haven't seen it. I mean, we bring Lukoski up because, he's at such a high level, but it's like, it almost like you never beat it. It's just kind of a lifelong, and I think about it when we're out there doing it. I'm like, dude, how, like, it's crazy to just think back on the connections that you've made to get you to a certain point, and like the the sacrifice that you've had to make, like financially, something to buy a piece of land, and to think that you could come out here and try to face off with something like this is like, it's a lot of fun in the moment, and it's just it's humbling in the same way that you're like, it's just, and you're grateful for it too. That feeling that if you're like, I'm just here, I'm in Iowa, I came out and I get to, like, I'm in the same woods. I'm the only one on 1,000 piece acre or 1,000 acre farm with a bow in my hand to chase something like that, and it's like,
well, and that's
humbling.
like when I killed my first buck, my first Boone and Crockett in Illinois last year. I just started crying. And I had so much slack, like people were making fun of me on it, Facebook and Instagram and on videos and stuff. But anyways, what I'm saying is no one knew how much that meant to me. Like I waited
40 years of just build up in there,
Yeah. And I just and I never thought it would ever happen. And I just, when I saw the arrow hit him and the blood squirt out, I was like, I just did it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And it just came out of me.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
And then to go and kill one the next year in Iowa is just like, wow. Now where do we go?
And I think that's the part of, like, when you talk about those, people tearing out, it's like there's a point there where, like, you can only, like, there's only so many 180s out there.
Yeah.
Right. And so, like, if all of a sudden you start to set your goal on purely like, I'm going to beat 180, I'm going to beat 185, I'm going to beat, like, that exponentially becomes, unrealistic at some point, right? It's like we say it all the time. I mean, there's no difference between a 5.5-year-old 150 and a 5.5-year-old 200, except for there's less of the 200s out there.
Yeah, that's right.
They hunt the same.
Yeah.
It's just there's less of them out there. It's harder to find those deer. So, it's keeping in perspective, like, whether it's just like, hey, I'm out there to kill mature deer.
Yep.
And it's different than, like, when you're in Iowa and you draw once every 6, 7, 8 years, and you're holding an expectation of, like, I'm here to kill mature deer, but I'm also here to kill something that I can't kill likely
anywhere
in
else.
other places.
Yeah.
That's a different ball game. But, I think that having that healthy, realistic expectation of, like, okay, you killed a giant in Illinois and Iowa, like, next year, if there's a 160-inch mature deer on your Ohio farm, it's like, there he is. Yep. That's the attainable goal is different depending on where you're at and what you're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is like you said, the age is the antler size is just the bonus.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to kill big buck.
Yeah.
But hunting down a 5.5-year-old deer is way different than a 3-year-old.
Oh, absolutely.
So the challenge is still there,
and it keeps going. Too.
Yeah.
As the years go, dude, it took me a long time to kill a 5-year-old deer.
Yeah.
To remember, I'm not sure if I know exactly like what the first one was, but
I think it was the Booner in Ohio.
No, that's 4-year-old. That's a 4-year-old for sure.
And maybe the Illinois buck.
I think probably in North Dakota. I think that buck I killed was a 5-year-old.
Oh yeah, was that before the Illinois deer? The first year of Illinois.
It was the same year.
Yeah, same year.
Same year, because I shot 3 bucks that year.
Yeah, so
that was the first year that I'd shot more than 1 buck.
And that was probably the first 5-year-old
for
deer.
years. For most years, it was like no buck or one or and then none and then 1. 3 years ago was the first year that I shot
multiple
more than 1 buck in a season, and it was 3.
Yep.
And then I think last year I just killed the 1 in Iowa, I think, and then so far this year it's 2. But as far as the age class is what I was going on, like, dude, it's small to like until you're experiencing it in real time, but like there's a difference. There's a big difference between a 4 and a 5-year-old deer. And I think there's even another difference between a 5 and a 6-year-old deer. I don't know if at a certain point, like, they start to, okay, that's kind of after they're over 6 or over 7, they all just do a certain thing. But like, we've seen that very distinctly in Illinois. Like the 3-year-olds, like back here or even in Ohio, you're like, oh, awesome, 3-year-old, nice. Out there, you're just like, okay, there's the 3-year-olds. The 4-year-olds, like, that's when you start to like pay attention to them. You're like, and they just idiots. Like they just run. They're covering so much ground. You're just praying they don't get shot.
And they look big.
They look big.
They look big.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They are big. I mean, yeah.
They look big. But then the 5-year-olds. See, I'm even at the point where like we're hunting 5-year-old deer. I'm not like saying, hey, we should raise the bar from that, but like there is a reality where you see guys that are like, you know, hey, five's great, but it's kind of the stepping stone to 6 or 7. And a lot of times they run hard at 5. So at 6, they don't throw their biggest one. So, you know, it's like, we're not at that point, I'm not saying, but like, how old do you think this deer was?
Well, they had pictures of him. So back through the years, and he was 7.5.
I think he was 7 here.
Yep.
Yeah. They thought the same about my Iowa buck. So, and if that's true, that would be my oldest.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I killed one at Ben's farm 2 or 3 years ago.
Illinois?
And he was 8. Yeah.
8.
Yeah, he was 8 years old.
What was he? Was he score wise and stuff?
He had 4 on this side and a fork.
Yeah.
And he was a bully.
Yep.
And
I remember that one.
Ben was like, slide up there and kill him. And I was like,
Get done.
Yes, sir.
Dead.
Yep.
Yeah, consider him dead.
Yeah,
Affirmative. I love you.
Yeah, well, when I was sitting there and I was like, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, dude, yeah. Well, we'd have killed for that opportunity to shoot an 8-year-old deer.
Well,
like
and
dude, who cares what's on
especially
his head?
especially on his farm, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, watched him on Dream Season.
Oh, I know.
He was a logger and stuff, and I was like, man. And then so he was doing he just started Whitetail Edge, and he was doing a seminar in Miller's Gun and Supply.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, have I ever told you guys this story?
I think so.
So anyways, me and my buddy had a lease like 45 minutes from there. And I saw on Facebook that he was going to be there doing a seminar. And I told my buddy, I was like, I'm going to go meet him.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, what do you want to go meet him for? And I said, well, I don't know. Maybe I can get on Whitetail Edge. And he started laughing. And so when I go there, you know, this is the first time I'd ever seen him. And I was like, hey, man, what would it take for me to be on your team? And he's like, where are you from? And I was like, Eastern Panhandle, West Virginia. And he's like, well, if you want to get aligned with the sponsors and kill a deer on video, I'll look at it. I was like, okay.
All right.
Yeah. And then that was it. Well, then I went and got all the stuff and killed a deer on video, me and my wife that year. And he was like, yeah, man, you can be on the team. You know, but then, like I said, to be sitting there on that farm, I was like, I can't believe this.
So how long ago did you move from West Virginia to Ohio?
2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 2.5 years
So
ago.
recent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I moved there to work for Novix Tree Stands.
Yep.
And I'd worked for a paper mill for 11 years, and it shut down. Found out on Facebook. Like, I go home.
The paper mill shut down?
Yeah, I was going to retire from there. I made great money. I loved where I worked. And
that was in Eastern West Virginia?
No, it was right in Maryland.
Maryland,
yeah, right across the river in Luke, Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, I work night shift, go home, go to bed. My wife's shaking me at like 10 o'clock, and she's like, the mill's shutting down. I was like, I just left. And
I closed it down.
Yeah,
I know that.
And she's like, no, it's shutting down.
Ugh.
And, you know, that was like, I was at the pinnacle of my, you know, I thought I'd made it.
Yeah.
You know, I was making great money. I don't have a college degree or nothing. That's why I've always pushed for my kids to go to school.
So you were like, what, 12 or 13 at the time?
Well, it shut down. It shut down in 2019.
2019.
Yeah, so I stayed.
Okay, so you're 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I thought
your brother's 12 or 13.
Yeah, I thought I was going to lose everything. And that's when the land in Ohio came for sale. And I was like, what the heck? Like, how am I going to do this? And I wanted it. And I'm pretty crazy when it comes to.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought, well, I'll just draw my retirement out and buy the farm.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Ballsy move, right?
Yeah.
Because you're at this point, you're like, what's next, right?
Yeah. No, I didn't know what was going to happen.
And Jess works at this
time?
time?
My wife. So, and that's another crazy thing is I was making enough money. I told her to go back to nursing school because she was in college when we met.
Yeah.
When we got together, and she got pregnant with my oldest son. So she had to drop out of school.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I was like, hey, if you want to go back to school, go. And she's like, awesome, I will. So she did.
Perfect.
Well, she graduates, and I'm thinking, man, straight out of Oakmont, West Virginia, we're going to make $150,000
Heck
a year.
Yeah,
you know
man.
I mean?
Yeah, nursing gig and your gig.
Yeah. And so she graduates, finds a job, and the mill shuts down. And I'm like, oh, my. And if she wouldn't have got through school, I mean, we probably would have lost everything. But she was working. I found a job, because I'm not lazy or
no.
I'm just like, well, I'll do whatever we have
whatever
to do.
you got to do,
Yeah.
make ends meet.
Yeah. So anyway, I start working, and then they called about that farm because I'd hunted it a couple years before they sold it, and they're like, we're going to sell it. So I was like, how are we going to buy it? Like,
And how big is it?
30 acres.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, they was giving everybody that got laid off could draw their retirement out, but not get like penalized as bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I just drawed it out and paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll always have a place to hunt, Jeremy.
Yeah. You're like, listen, we may not have a house, but we own land. We are landowners.
Yeah. So, and like I said, and what she was making enough to pay for our house.
Yep.
So anyways, I'd worked a couple jobs and just hated it. Because when the best job you've ever had is taken away.
Oh yeah, man.
You feel lost.
Yep.
And anyways, Ben hit one of his best friends, Mark.
Yep. Lieberger.
He bought Novix, and Ben told him that I needed work and he could trust me. And I met Mark at the Ohio Deer Expo,
Yep.
and he said, "Hey, do you want to come work for me?" And I was like, "Well, I got to talk to my wife first."
Yeah, because this is now in Ohio, right?
Yeah. So we're still living in West Virginia. And I went home and I said, "Hey, I have an interview at Novix." And she's like, "What is that?" And I was like, "A tree stand company in Ohio." And she's like, "What?"
She's like, "We live in West Virginia."
And I was like, "Let's just move." The opportunities, there's a lot of places to work. I said, our kids are going to need places, I said, there's just a lot more there.
Yeah.
And I talked her into it, and we packed up, and I would go home every weekend and get a U-Haul load of stuff, and we found a place to rent, and finally she moved up. We sold her house, so
2019, 2020?
22.
Okay, because you were working somewhere else intermittently.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I had jobs through there just to.
So
make sure we didn't
2022,
starve.
you moved to Ohio. You work for Novix. She gets a nursing job.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's where we're at.
And you're still with Novix today?
No,
You're
no.
not.
So Mark sold.
That's right.
Yeah, so he sold Novix to Jeff Klump,
To Jeff.
who's
yeah.
on Whitetail Edge.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yep.
And Jeff moved it to Indiana.
Mm.
And this is another crazy story. This is how God takes care of you. A guy came in the warehouse and said, "Man, it's really clean in here and organized." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's just there to buy a tree stand.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "I could use a really good supervisor." And I was like, "Well, how much does it pay?" And he told me. And
That was the guy who was in here this morning?
no, that was his brother.
Okay.
Yeah, his brother Tim. And so anyways, Mark comes in and I said, "Hey, guy just offered me a job." And he's like, "I think you should take it."
And you think, is that because Mark was selling?
And a couple of days later, he came in and said, "Pack it up, I'm selling it."
Wow.
So I already had a job.
Dang, man.
It just all worked out perfect.
And what's his company, or what's the company you guys work?
Holmes Lumber.
Okay,
Yep.
it is.
Yeah.
Like Holmes as in Holmes County?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so he lives like right down the road here.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's our general manager. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right on. We just talked to Emily Shad Conkler.
Oh, yeah.
Conkler?
Yeah.
This morning.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
worked with her for a couple
Yeah.
years.
And so I guess she's like the community manager or something
Yep.
for Novix still. So that's cool.
Yeah, we always so anybody that had problems or,
Mhm.
issues or whatever, she would call me and say, "Hey, this guy needs a cable," or this, you
Yep.
know. So I talked to Emily probably, at least once a day.
She's a killer.
Oh, yeah.
Does Novix sell replacement cables?
Yeah.
Check this out, dude. This is terrible news. I had a friend of ours, a neighbor in Ohio.
Like direct neighbor.
Direct neighbor, good friend of ours, died yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Guy, he was 69.
Mm.
Climbed up in the tree stand in the morning, and he was supposed to be in there for the all-day sit, told his wife where he was going. The backstory is like his son has had cancer, brain cancer, for years, and he's
Your age.
my age,
Right.
36,
Wow.
maybe. So, and that's been really hard for them. And it's
I'm
like,
sure.
it's just years and years. It's like a downhill battle, basically,
Yeah.
So they've just been dealing with that, for years. And then, he went out yesterday morning and texted her, and he's like, "Hey, I'm going in there for an all-day sit." And he must have fallen out in the morning. They found the cables snapped.
So
Both
the cables broke.
cables broke. Not a Novix. It was like a, who knows, old
Yeah.
thing that had been in there for years. And, just Nobody's ever. I don't even know if they make replacement cables for most.
Yeah, they do.
Stuff.
Yeah, that's a great thing about it. Is like I had my station where all the the stuff that the Versa buttons, the offset back, all that stuff was because you need to replace it. I mean, that stuff, a lot of hunters.
Well, and most of us don't. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Like most of us.
Well, I've always if I look at it and something on the tree stand needs replaced, it's time for a new tree stand.
Yeah, just junk it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like the cables and stuff because the platform's aluminum. It's going to last forever, but the cables aren't.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure you change those and the straps.
Dude, somebody fell out of while we were out in Illinois. We heard the sirens. Somebody else. Did that guy died too, right?
No, he had like a brain injury and spinal injury. I don't know if he's out of the hospital or not. But yeah, I mean, the guy that we bought the farm from was like, "Are you guys okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I just heard we're in the middle of nowhere, right?" He's like, "In your area, somebody just fell out of the tree stand and they're bringing in life flight." And we heard the sirens and stuff. I'm like, "Holy cow!" It was right there,
dude.
It's right down the road.
You just
never
know,
be
man.
too careful.
No, for sure. I mean,
We get complacent with that, man. I mean, especially, dude, growing up, I never wore a harness. Nah. Dude, I was climbing trees with my bare hands and just sitting on a branch or whatever, or half of my tree stands were built out of 2x4s.
Oh, absolutely. I'd find me 3 trees going up.
That's it, man.
Nail me 4x4.
That's it. Freaking in there with a platform and you're good.
5-gallon bucket.
Yeah. There was no safety harness. There was nothing.
It's not a small number of people. We know a lot of people. My uncle fell out of a tree stand on our property.
Yeah.
It just wasn't wearing a harness.
I remember that.
Well,
how long ago was that? 3, 4 years?
No. 6, 7 years ago.
What did he get injured?
Shattered his ankles, both of them.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
And tib fib and stuff. It was dark, and he just stepped off the platform, stepped backward or something, and late 50s probably when it happened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I've fallen out. You know what I mean? It's been a long time, but I fell out when I was a teenager. I was stepping on a wet limb or something, and it slipped, and I had my bow. I don't remember if I had anything on my back, but I fell flat on my back. Just fell flat on my back, and I was a teenager, so I was just like, ugh. Am I okay? I'm in one piece. I fell out another time. I was climbing also didn't have a harness. It was February, and I was just checking a stand or something. Climbed it. It was one of those old sticks. They all stuck together.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at the very top one, and I had my hand above where the V's.
Yep.
There's just a T. And my hand on that, the bolt snapped. Or it slipped through and pulled away from the tree, and I just fell straight down.
Oh my!
Landed on my feet. But imagine had there been a stick or something to gore you on the way down, yeah.
Where your finger gets caught.
Oh yeah, I ripped my finger. You knew that.
Well, yeah.
That's my wedding ring. I got caught on a tree stand. Yeah, there you go. There's enough tree stand accidents there in the last.
Were you with me when I forget it was an Ameristep stick or whatever stacked and it bent? Were you with me when we were hanging that? I think I was in Kansas. Maybe. We had sticks up and because you're basically strapping each section as you go up to the top.
Yeah.
And I was on the top and it.
I was with you, I think.
And it bent that freaking thing back and I fell out.
Yeah.
And then in Ohio, when I was hunting that 200-incher in Columbus, I was hanging one and fortunately I had my lineman's belt off and I slipped. But I mean, I partially tore my rotator cuff because I slipped and I grabbed the limb and it just.
Yeah.
But I had my lineman's belt on that caught me when I was falling out.
Yeah. Wear a harness. We wear them all the time. Dude, I've got one of those. It's a muddy Guardian or something. It's just it just works. It's just straight up.
Every tree stand company they send you one.
Yeah, you get your factory one in the bag.
I mean, it's cheap.
Yeah,
but it's something.
Yeah,
it used to be I don't know if they're any better, but it used to be I needed to solve a Rubik's Cube before I could get into those damn things. So, you pull it out and I'm like, it's a spider web. I just throw it on me and I'm like,
they still look like that.
Yeah, so I need a simpler one. Well, dude, I remember when you talk about the dream season, when Scent Blocker came out with the tree spider or whatever, and I was like, this is the coolest thing. It was giant seat belts. It was ka-chink when you put it together.
Remember the Hunter safety system?
I didn't know. I had a tree spider.
Was that first or?
Probably about the same time.
Yeah, it was this giant vest, and we're like, this is cool.
But yeah, you buckle them together, and it was ka-chink.
Yeah.
Ka-chink on the legs and everything.
There's still some garbage harnesses out there. They make them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you need one.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, just get one that works, and then, dude, a lifeline is huge.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
I've been trying at least on like if you do like even if it's lock-ons, like more like season based or permanent ones, just throw a lifeline or whatever, like whatever they're called.
My dad's bringing several to Kansas.
Just put them up, and then that way when you hook on, when you leave the ground, you're at least on it.
Yeah.
Like that's a no-brainer, because it is hard. Like when you talk about like the Novix run, or we use custom gears, like I mean, I'll be honest, like when I'm hanging my sticks, I'm not on the tree.
Yeah.
Like I'm just hanging sticks, right? Now, when I get to the tree stand, typically, especially if it's awkward, I'll throw my lineman's belt around just so I have two hands to use it.
Yep.
But
me too. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, but I mean, going up, if you're on stick number 4, like you're up there, and like,
yeah,
I'm not taking the time to put myself in and put myself out when I climb back down.
No, I'm not either. I'm not either. But I mean, there's a point, there's a trade-off there where the safety meets the reality, or what's feasible. Like, is it really making a difference, or is it making it worse to stop and try to?
Well, we just talked about it with ladder stands. It's like, I'd say 8 out of 10 sits in a ladder stand, I don't have my harness on.
Yeah. When I shot this deer the other day, I wasn't wearing a harness, in fairness, but it's like, it's a big monster ladder stand.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not that high off the ground. And the way you have to sit in that tree is like opposite. There's all these other branches coming up here. So it's just like, there was almost no way I could have fallen out if I fell asleep standing up. It's like, you're going to fall into a limb or something. Yeah. So I don't know.
But those are good for lifelines. Like most of my ladder stands I have that I use with kids, like the doubles and stuff, I have lifelines because I have them locked in as I'm going up.
Yeah.
I will tell you what's really nice is, like, instead of the old straps, like seatbelt straps that you'd put around the tree, I use my lineman's belt for my thing.
Same.
And what's nice about that is you can slide it and get you, so you have tail like this, and you can give yourself as much room from it as you need.
Well, and that's what I try to tell my boys is, getting in and out's where most of the things happen.
So, yeah, absolutely, man.
So I say, before you get into the tree stand, make sure you hook up.
Yeah.
And then, adjust your lineman's where, slides up tight to the tree and your belt's not.
Yeah, and unfortunately, and we won't ever know, but like with John, I assume it was stepping from whatever to the platform.
I assume so. Well,
then again, he wasn't wearing a harness.
Cables broke too, and he wasn't wearing a harness.
Yeah. So
which is crazy. You think in today's day and age, it's like, of course everyone wears a harness, and I've got a buddy now from North Dakota. You know who you are. I've got to text him and tell him, be like, "This is what happens, dude."
He didn't wear one.
He of all people. I'm like.
Is that because he's in a saddle?
We were all, it's funny how, like, when you're a kid, you think people are going to make fun of you because you're the safety guy.
Yeah.
All of us are like, you're an idiot. Like, put your freaking harness on. Like, here's an extra one. He's like, no, I'm just not a big harness guy. I'm like, you're a dead guy then. Like,
yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah. And so.
Well, and I always try to think about the people I care about. Like, if I'm going to go hunting for something that I love to do, and I go and get killed, and my wife has to deal with my kids and all that stuff of this world.
Selfish to not wear one.
It's selfish not to wear one.
Yeah.
And we're not hunter's age to where we're nimble and flexible and can hit the ground and roll and stand up and be like, okay, get back up there. I hit the ground now, like there's something ain't going to be working right. Yeah, it's not going to be working right when I try to get back up.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, that's a big piece of it. And yeah, I mean, hate it for the Beadnolls because they've been going through a lot as it is. HUNTR Podcast is brought to you by Pure Wildlife Blends.
Man, what a critical component just to everything that we talk about, especially during these off-season months. We're looking at and developing these different farms and trying to improve them from year to year. And whether that's food plots or different switch screenings or bedding areas, they all require a dedicated and thoughtful seed blend.
Yeah, so obviously Pure Wildlife Blends being Jeff and Jen Sturgis, we've built a great relationship with those guys. And really what we're seeing is a true testament to them picking the best varieties for these mixes. In fact, we're leaning on clover a lot more. The perennial plot power that those guys do was one of the best clover plots I've ever seen. From December to March, we had more deer in a single clover plot than I've ever seen. A lot of these sheds coming from that plot or right around it. Again, just a true testament to what these guys are creating at Pure Wildlife Blends.
No doubt. And so if you guys are looking for just a workhorse seed that the deer will really use the way that you want them to use it, you can use promo code HUNTR, HUNTR, for a discount on the Pure Wildlife Blends website.
Thank you so much for having us.
Clean and simple, man.
You're welcome. Thank you for making the drive to come out. And it was a couple hours for you. And you know, I
You say
appreciate,
you're going to see your mom?
appreciate the
I'm going to go
intention.
see my grandmother.
Your grandmother?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, because she's getting up there in age, and I thought, well, we're only 2 hours from home.
They're in West Virginia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go see her and my uncle, and I'll stop and see my mother.
Yeah.
And going to have breakfast with her on Sunday.
There you go.
And then I'm going to drive back.
Are you
Awesome.
going to keep hunting?
I want to, but I just if it works out to where I can go to Illinois or Indiana, I will.
No,
What about
no,
home farm, Ohio?
I'm tagged out in Ohio.
Oh, yeah. So you're good
Hunter.
with them.
Yeah, the boys. The boys are going to be going like youth season with a gun.
Which one did you shoot in Ohio?
A 9-point.
In October?
Yeah.
I was on the Noble farm.
No, this was on a permission piece. Yeah, yeah, and
After you put your life savings into the 30.
yeah.
Are you gonna youth hunt the farm? That's the plan.
Yeah.
You got a couple on there.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Slammer, dude.
Yeah, we have a really old. He's a 5-year-old. His horns are all kind of crazy.
Oof. Yeah.
But yeah, so Hunter's gonna hunt him.
That's awesome, Buck.
Yeah, he saw him. He saw him about a week ago. He was sitting back on the bench. Me and his mom was hunting in the redneck, and he was back there in a tree stand.
And you saw him?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're gonna go after him next weekend for youth.
There you go.
Sweet.
And we'll see what happens. I'm content. You know, like I don't have to kill another one. I'd like to.
Yeah, Hunter does.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm gonna put a lot more time.
Yeah.
A lot of time into him
Yeah.
and my wife.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, because she hasn't killed a deer since 2019, I think, and that was the first year we were on the show.
Mama's overdue.
Yeah, Mom is definitely, she needs one. So
Cool.
we'll see. Yeah, we're gonna stay after it for sure. I'm not gonna just sit on a couch.
It's kind of funny, man, when you get to a point. It's
Almost
like
a show, right? Like it's like a lot of November left. It's like
I know it is.
Don't wanna
kind of
waste it,
upsetting.
yeah.
It's weird. Yeah, it's just I don't know. And I mean, it's also different with the kids and stuff. It's like we talked about it 2 weeks ago when we were at in Illinois after Jared had killed his. I'm like, I'm not that mad at him.
Yeah.
You know, and I want the kids to have success. You know, I'm stoked about Kansas because I really want my dad to kill one. Like he's gone through cancer. It's been a while since he's killed a buck. Like he's shot at him, you know, so which is always fun. But you know, so like if those things happen, like my big check box, even though like my passion's whitetail, was killing that Kentucky elk. Like that thing that was like I couldn't have planned anything any better. Like when that happened, I'm like season check.
Yeah.
You know, and I've got plenty of time. Like Jared said, it's halfway through November. We got Kansas. I've got Kentucky. I've got Ohio. Like but I'm just not that angry at him anymore. Like especially for like all these 4-year-olds and stuff in Ohio. I'm like, boy, I really hope they make it through.
Yeah.
You know, and
well, your
like,
mindset changes.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about, you know, if everybody else is happy, I'm content.
Yeah. Well,
You
I
know?
told my wife, I was like, hey, if I go to Iowa and kill a giant, I'll do whatever you want to do the rest of the year.
That's it, man. Yeah. It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm sure I'm going to be doing some Black Friday shopping.
I know better than
Hallmark
to make that
movies.
Promise. That was a mistake. But you don't know it yet.
But it's wild, man. It's like the cup overfloweth at that point, right?
That's right.
It's like, what else? You know, if Hunter goes out and kills one on the farm, it's like, golden, dude. Like, no brainer.
Yep.
I think the best thing that could happen in Kansas is if one or more of the dads or uncles are like, dude, if one of those guys can slam a giant, that'd be pretty awesome.
It's funny. My dad, I was talking to, he'll listen to this too. So it'll be after Kansas. So who knows how this will all go. I don't know where we were at. We were coming back from somewhere and he's like, man, it'd be pretty awesome to kill like a 150 in Kansas. I'm like, well, dude, they're like, you're in the place for it. Like when the outfitter's like, hey man, there's a bunch of 5 and 6 year old like 150 type 8s. I'm like, but I was telling my wife, I'm like, the first 130 that comes through, he's smoking the hell out of that thing, right? Like, yeah, I know it, and I'm cool as long as he's happy. I'm happy, right? I don't care. But it was just those are the discussions that are like, you know, and I hope it's like whatever. The first one he sees is a big one, so it's like that's the one he shoots. But
yeah, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, it'll be different especially because like I don't know what Uncle Dale's gonna be looking for. Right. I know
he claims, he told me the other day, he's like, I'm not shooting it unless it's my best one ever, which would be like 60 and up, I think.
So he just shot a 3-year-old. So
I know. That's I think where he's coming from.
Yeah.
I think he's like, I'm
Okay.
not, he's like, I'm not going to let that happen.
And I know like your dad is he'll be a dark to dark, like go for gold.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, he's not going to pass a big mature buck though. You know, 100,
I don't know.
145 inch
Okay.
8-point walk center. Yeah.
You think he'll shoot it?
I think he will.
I know my dad will be good for slinging. So we're.
Yeah. My brother killed that in Kansas.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
looks
just-
like a Kansas deer.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Big, heavy, giant deer.
What did he score?
160.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Slammer. That's cool.
Yeah. So for Kansas, I mean, that'll get you excited for Kansas.
Yeah, I'd shoot the shit out of that thing.
Yeah.
I would too.
Wouldn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Dead. Dead.
Yeah. There's
You
plenty
guys
of
are going to
deer.
have, and that's a great time to go to Kansas too.
The time.
The only goal I have left on my list, besides like my dad killing something or the kids, is like I am adamant this year in one of the states. It won't be Kansas or Iowa because I won't or Illinois, but I'm going to kill a buck with my recurve.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that whether it's Pennsylvania, Ohio, or Kentucky, there'll be one of those states because I'm just not gonna put the outfitter through that when we go out there. But yeah, I don't want to have to be in that. I'll do it on my own time. But that's the last bucket check I have for this year. And you know, I was hunting. I have 28 acres right up here. You know, there's a big 3-year-old, and I would have shot the shit out of him if he came by with that recurve.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Past the 3-point, and I was like,
yeah, today's your lucky day, buddy.
Yeah, you didn't meet antler restriction, so you're lucky. But
you're lucky there's laws
you're lucky
involved.
there's laws
The only
involved.
thing between me and you is laws.
I was feeling that string, and you know, but that's the last one on the bucket list. I've never killed a buck with a traditional bow.
Yeah.
I killed a doe, but I've never killed a buck with one. So that's on the list.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Although a lot of people keep writing me, they're like, dude, once you do it though, it's like needle in the vein because it's just a whole nother thing unlocked above.
Well, and that's what I told you about my neighbor killing. You know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
10 yards, 190 incher with a recurve. That's impressive.
I don't know where you go
is
from
impressive.
there, man.
Yeah.
That's the ceiling there. That's for sure the ceiling. So, but yeah. Anyways, but we appreciate you guys driving out and spending time with us, and congrats again, man. It's freaking Iowa is Iowa, as we say.
That's a dream. Yep. Are you doing a pedestal with him, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna do something like that there.
Yeah.
And I want to put him and the one I killed in Illinois.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing.
Oh,
I think I'm gonna pedestal this guy here.
are you?
Yeah, I'll shoulder Kamikaze, and I'm gonna pedestal this thing. I was gonna grab some barnwood and tin.
Yeah,
as long as Jackie Moon doesn't use it all.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Make it a little base for him.
There you go.
Just, I mean, that's he not that Kamikaze did, but he means enough to me that I'm like, and it was an accomplishment.
Sure, as long as you got room for it.
Yeah. I will, and I look
room.
forward to seeing your guys' lives and stuff with the.
Oh, dude,
when you do the stories with your family.
Thursday, that's
Kansas.
next Thursday night. If people are listening to this, it already went back. You can go back and see it. But for us, it's next Thursday night. We'll be there.
Dude, people love those. On the one we did last week or whatever at Brackett's house, there was like 400 people on there the whole time, like on live on there.
Yeah.
I was like, that's
what was
pretty cool.
funny is you guys would put those stories when you were in Iowa.
Oh man.
And I'm sitting there just like, I can't wait till they post the next one because it was so funny.
What was it?
Well, it was when you killed your deer in Iowa, and you were doing the stories and watching the election.
Yeah. When we were just getting loaded that night, and it was election night. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No wonder I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was like, I got to get up and hunt, and it was like an hour later. I'm like, I know. I slept in. I missed my morning hunt. I just killed one that next evening.
Yeah. So do that in Kansas too, so I can have some entertainment.
Yeah,
while I'm watching
will.
Hallmark.
You got it.
Especially if the dads or Uncle Dale kill a big one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fire.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It'll be crazy.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, we appreciate everyone listening to episode 289 with Hunter and Dewaine, and we will catch you on the next one.
Later.
See ya.
Take me